Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Welcome back to the latest transfer episode, and we have lots of news for you this morning. And we will be starting straight away with lots of big news regarding so many clubs. And I think like after a long time, we have a day where we have lots of transfer news. Is due to the fact that because normally the season starts, and most of the teams they have injuries, they have suspensions. Sometimes they have their players leaving for the other clubs, and they're looking for new players. So right now this is the case. So let me start today's episode. Please do subscribe to the channel, press that like button as well, and please support Football Gupshup by sharing it with your football friends. So let's start today's episode, and I want to start straight away with the big news which is coming towards our way, and it has to do with PSG. PSG have full agreement on personal terms with Fabian Ruiz. It's a matter of some details. It will be done. Luis Campos was really keen on this deal. Remember, he's the one who got Renato Sanchez. So they have got Fabian Ruiz from Napoli, and he had just a year remaining on his contract with Napoli, and Napoli wanted to make a sale. They didn't want to lose him on free. They did knew that Ancelotti really raised the player, and Ancelotti really wanted him at Real Madrid. He did mention, I think, just like few weeks ago that he rated Fabian Ruiz, and was willing to wait for a year to snatch him on free. But it's PSG. They have acted quickly and they have paid a fee. So it seems that PSG have got Fabian Ruiz, whereas there's another player of PSG who will be moving to the other way around. Is going to be Keylor Navas, who is surplus because remember he was number one, and then we do know that Donnarumma came to PSG, and it was about who will be number one. Will it be Keylor Navas? Will it be Donnarumma? But it seems that Donnarumma will be the main man for PSG, and Keylor Navas is looking for a move, and that's where Napoli come in. Remember, Napoli were also interested in Kepa of Chelsea, but it seems that they will be getting Keylor Navas, and Keylor Navas will be moving over to Napoli. Now, other than this, it's also has been reported that PSG are right now currently looking at Skriniar, and it's a case of submitting a fresh offer of 70 plus million euros. And it seems that Skriniar will be heading his way towards PSG, and we will see the likes of Marquinhos partnering alongside Skriniar is going to be a really statement signing by getting Skriniar as your centre back, and PSG are very much keen on that. You do know that they were willing to sell Kimpembe in order to recoup some of the money. They've offered a very big, huge contract to Mbappe, and it seems that PSG are trying to raise some cash in order to make other moves for other players. And it seems the case that if they get Skriniar, then they would be willing to sell Kimpembe. But which club will be interested in him? So far, Chelsea links were very much on, but due to recent weeks, it seems that Chelsea have moved away from him and they're looking at Wesley Fofana. So you never know if PSG gets Skriniar, they might make Kimpembe available, and we might see Chelsea going in back for him if they're not able to get Fofana. So lots of transfer has to be seen, and it's more about which player is available, which player is willing to go, which club wants to sell, which club wants to acquire. It depends on so many factors. But anyway, right now we will be heading towards Chelsea and Barcelona. It seems that Marco Alonso will sign for Barcelona. The transfer fee has been reported around 10 million euros. And finally, Alonso will move back to his native Spain, and his time at Chelsea is done. He had a very good career at Chelsea, but we will see him moving over to Barcelona. Now, we're going to speak about Frankie de Jong. I want to come to that, but just right now, there is this news breaking about Rabio. It's been reported that Rabio has been strongly linked with a move to Manchester United. I don't know where this has come from, but lots of people have been reporting on this. It's mostly coming from men. That's Manchester Evening News. That Manchester United have agreed a fee in principle with Juventus for Adrian Rabio, and they have to enter the talks over the personal terms with the player's agent, which is her mother. And this has come out of nowhere. It has to be about basically that Frankie de Jong might be staying at Barcelona because John Laporta came out with a statement saying that Frankie de Jong is our player. We would want to keep him is due to the fact that Barcelona have made a new financial deal in regards to selling their TV rights. So that means they would be willing to keep Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona, and maybe that's the reason that United are looking for other transfers. But the big news, which was yesterday, was during the match, which was regarding Manchester United were interested in Arnautovic. Uh, that came out of nowhere, and certainly it really, really was. It's kind of frustrating for United fans to be linked with such a player, and you know that you've been reported linked with Anthony, with Sesko, and out of nowhere you've been linked with Arnautovic, and this came out pretty strongly. And there was a backlash by fans on multiple platforms, on social media, on YouTube. There were so many things happening, and it's just that it didn't make any sense that why would United be linked with Arnautovic. It seems that United have this case of finding 33 plus 34 years old strikers, Igalo, Cavani, Ibrahimovic, Falcao, and this trend of getting old players as your striker has seemed to be a fitting trend with United. And it seems that Arnautovic didn't make any sense, but United were linked with him. But thankfully today the news was breaking was that apparently Arnautovic made a racist remark, and that wouldn't count as a good thing if he signs for United. So that means United will not be going in for him, and it means that United will look for somewhere else. So right now it's United who have been linked with Rabio in regards to this midfield move. We do know that Frankie De Jong is the number one target for Eric Ten Hag, but so far nothing has seems to be moving forward in that case. So let's see what will United do in for that. Now, what we'll do is we'll head towards other news. We'll be talking about Marseille. Marseille are right now signing Alexis Sanchez for a 3-year contract. He had his Inter Milan contract terminated, so he will complete transfer to France and he will play for Marseille. There is another news in which it has been reported that Galatasaray have signed Dries Mertens as well as Lucas Torreira. So they have signed two big signings. The video of arriving at Istanbul airport was really something. It really moves you. Turkish fans are really special in terms of welcoming their new players. And you saw it. If you haven't seen the video, you should go out and see it. It's a very nice video where Lucas Torreira and Dries Mertens together. They were on the plane. They got off the plane. They came to the airport, and there was a huge party welcoming them for their inclusion in Galatasaray team. So we will get to see them play for Galatasaray. Now there is another news in which it has been breaking. It has been coming on for like last 2 to 3 days, mainly from Barcelona. The reports are that Messi would be willing to rejoin Barcelona in the near future is due to the fact that he has got some signaling from the board that they would want to have this chapter a beautiful ending. They didn't want it to end like the way it did, and Messi is open to that, and he has said that he was open to MLS move, but now due to this Barcelona's new kind of image where they want to bring him back is really working in their favor, and Messi is open to move back to Barcelona. He wants to finish his career where he started it, so perhaps we will see Messi moving back to Barcelona, and it will be pretty good news for Barcelona fans. They will be getting their legend back. Now we will be talking about other news, and we will be reporting you of Timo Werner. He is going to join back his old club RB Leipzig. His time at Chelsea is a mixed one. He hasn't been able to perform that he was usually promised. Like it was that when Chelsea got him, everybody expected him to score at least 20 plus goals, but that wasn't the case. His finishing was really awful, and he couldn't be that kind of player which Chelsea thought that they bought. And it seems that he's willing to take a pay cut to move back to his old club, and we will see him playing for his old club at RB Leipzig. And because this is a World Cup year, remember, guys, most of the players they seem to think that if they're not playing regularly, it hurts their chances to be selected in the national team. And that is the reason why most of the players in this transfer window will make an exceptional case and will be willing to take pay cuts. They'll be willing to take at all costs. Like look at Bergwijn, he moved to Ajax because he knew that at Tottenham he wouldn't get that much of a playtime, and Louis van Gaal wouldn't select him because due to that fact, and that is what made him to choose to go back to his native homeland and play for Ajax. Even though he did say that Ajax are playing in Champions League, and that comes into a very good factor that he has selected a good option. But mostly players would want to play for a team which would offer them a good play time. So you have seen this with Bergwijn, and this is a similar case with Timo Werner. Now, in another news, Damsgaard will be flying to England to get his medical done with Brentford. The fee has been agreed, and the fee is for around 15 million euros. So that means he'll be playing for Brentford. And there is another news which came out as surprisingly is for Everton fans. Everton are prepared to complete both Cody and Amadou Onana signings this week. With the Cody one, it just came out surprisingly. I didn't expect it because due to the fact that they have so many defenders who are injured. We saw in the on the other day in the match where it was Godfrey who got serious injury, and then we had also Yeremina who pulled his hamstring. So that means Frank Lampard is short in numbers in terms of centre backs, and that is the reason why they've gone for Cody, which is a very good acquisition. And we will be talking about Wolves right now because they got a pretty good player in special player. I'm just gonna mention it just right after this. So Emada Unana, who was in the stands watching the match, will be signing for Everton. There is another player, which is Guai, who used to play for Everton. He's playing at PSG. There will be a loan move completion, and Everton will get three new players, which is pretty good news for Everton fans. Now, coming to Juventus, I'll be coming back to Wolves a little bit later. Juventus are determined to complete a costish deal. The personal terms have been agreed. Frankfurt have to agree a fee. There's just a 4 million euro gap, and soon as that gap is finished, there will be a completion of that deal. Now we'll be coming to Wolves. Wolves fans are really excited with this transfer move. It has to do with Gonçalo Guedes, who plays for Valencia. Apparently, Gattuso has accepted the fact that Guedes needs to be sold, and the fee which has been reported is 30 to 32 million euros in add-ons. Long-term contract has already been agreed. The deal has to be signed. So Wolves will be getting a very promising player in Guedes, and I'm sure that all of the fans will be really excited. Uh, Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you very much. And right now, talking about in another aspect, there is also acceptance that Wolves would be willing to sell Ruben Neves if the right bid comes in. That is the statement of the club board, but only if the right fee comes to the club. Now, which means they value him at 50 million euros or pounds, and if they meet that figure, they would be willing to sell Ruben Neves. But then again, it depends on how much time is left and what can they do in terms of maneuvering in transfer market. Now, we'll be heading towards other news in which we will be talking about Villarreal. Villarreal are still confident on completing Gio Lo Celso deal. It's getting closer with Tottenham. Unai Emery really prioritized him as an important player, so it is getting closer. We still have to see it's going to be a loan move, it's going to be a permanent buy. I think it's going to be more in the range of permanent buy, and there will be a certain figure which will be accepted. Tottenham, remember, they need to raise some money after that much spending spree, and they would be willing to raise some cash. So for that reason, I think this is going to be a permanent deal. Now, there is another news. It has been reported that Angelino, who plays for RB Leipzig, it will be moving over to Hoffenheim. The figure is around 20 million euros. So that means Angelino will play his trade in Bundesliga, but for a different team in Hoffenheim. Now, coming back to another news regarding Edison Cavani. Remember, Edison Cavani was close to sign for Boca Juniors, but there is an issue regarding Cavani. Apparently, his family wants to stay in Europe. They are used to their life in Europe, and apparently, Cavani would be willing to listen to offers in La Liga, and that is the reason he hasn't made up his decision in regards to moving over to Boca Juniors. Now, Boca Juniors really wanted him. The fans are really eager for him to sign, but the case with his family not willing to leave Europe has come into play, and for that reason, Edison Cavani is looking at options right now currently in La Liga, and perhaps he is willing to stay in Europe for further 2 more years. Now, we will be also talking about this strange rumor which was linked with Manchester United. It was regarding Leroy Sane. Simply, it has been dismissed by the Bayern director, and they have said that there's no truth to that. He's an important player for us, so there's nothing to say at all about Leroy Sane being leaving Bayern Munich. So that's really dismissed over there. Now regarding Salzburg's Cisco, now new news has come in about which club are interested in him for real. Is he willing to leave? Are Salzburg willing to sell him? Now this is what has been reported, that apparently the agent of Sesko has been speaking to RB Leipzig's board of directors, and what they're saying is that they're willing to accept to sell him, but only next year. They don't want to sell him right now due to the fact that they think that right now it's too early for him to leave. He should stay here for one more year, and there might be news coming in that he would be willing to do that and see what he does next year. So if that would be the case, then maybe Manchester United and Chelsea will have to look somewhere else if he decides to stay at Salzburg. We do know that RB Leipzig, who are of the same group of Red Bull, Salzburg and Leipzig are of the same group called Red Bull, and it seems that RB Leipzig were also interested in him, but it seems that he would be willing to stay at Salzburg, then move over to Leipzig or Chelsea or Manchester United. Now, there is another news in regards to West Ham United. We do know that West Ham United are willing to sell both Said Benrahma and Nikola Vlasic. In next days, Torino are very keen on signing Vlasic. The talks are ongoing. So let's see what happens on that front. Said Benrahma, as I've said to you guys earlier, is on the market, is available, but let's see which club would want to go for him and which club would be willing to take him. Now, we will be heading towards another news. It's regarding with Cristiano Ronaldo. So far, the news which has come in is that there is no club which is interested in taking of Cristiano Ronaldo. Uh, but because the transfer market is still open, you never know in these transfer market there is some sort of maybe a situation. Maybe Atletico Madrid try to raise some cash. Maybe they come in for him late. But it all depends on what Manchester United do in the striking department. So far, there is no evidence that United have got a plan in regards to getting the attackers. So if the case stays the same, then Cristiano Ronaldo will have to stay at United. So I would say keep an eye on this. It's still open as long as the transfer market is open. Anything can happen and anything can take place. So we'll have to be patient enough to see what happens on that front. Now, we are also going to mention about something regarding Manchester City. It has to do with Bernardo Silva. We saw him coming the other day for a few minutes, and apparently the news which has been coming in that Barcelona were eager to sign him. Now, if they keep Frankie de Jong, will there be any chance for him to move over to Barcelona? That is the key right now. Now, if Laporta is saying that they want to keep Frankie de Jong, it doesn't make sense for them to go for Bernardo Silva, because how will they be able to manage it in terms of paying him those wages? So that means there might be an opening towards PSG, but remember PSG are right now getting Fabian Ruiz. They've already got Renato Sanchez, and it wouldn't make any sense to get Bernardo Silva if he's going to sit on the bench. So that means he might get to stay at Manchester City for one more season, and maybe next year he gets his move to any of the club which will come in for him. So right now, as long as Frankie de Jong stays at Barcelona, there's no chance for him to go over there. As long as PSG are happy with Sanchez and Fabian Ruiz, don't think so. PSG will go for him, so he'll have to stay at Manchester City. Now, this is the updates so far that we have for you guys, and most probably there will be more news coming in the by afternoon. If not by afternoon, then definitely by evening. Just before I leave, I'll be giving you another news in which Sevilla they have signed Isco for a 2-year contract. Apparently, Lopetegui really likes the player, and Isco wanted to stay in Spain, and he will be willing to sign for Sevilla. So Isco will be a new player for Sevilla, so that's going to be a very good thing for him. And remember, it's a World Cup year, so he might play good at Sevilla, and he gets to choose to by the national team manager Luis Enrique and goes to play in the World Cup. So right now, this is the update we have, and hopefully I'll be tuning in by afternoon, and by evening we'll have more news. There was some news regarding Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi. So far, it's just transfer rumors that he's been linked with so many moves. Many tabloids are reporting it, but there's no something substantial until and unless it becomes. Then I'll report it to you guys. So thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel. Press that like button as well. Hopefully, I'll be tuning in by afternoon. The timings are as this. I'm gonna mention it over here so you guys have an idea that when do we have these transfer sessions. Morning time is around 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., which this is all UK time, guys. And the afternoon session is around 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and the evening one is at around 8 p.m. This is all UK time, guys. GMT. So if you guys have any question, you can write it down in the comment section, and I will answer to you, and I will do as much as I can to answer you guys back. So thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you soon in the afternoon session. Please subscribe, press that like button as well, and I'll get to see you soon. If I have missed anything, you can mention it in the comment section, and I'll answer it back to you. So please do support by pressing that like button. Please do subscribe. I'm looking for as many subscribers as you can. I'm trying to grow this channel on this platform. Please do subscribe and let your friends know about this channel as well. It would be really lovely to grow this platform. And I want to thank you everyone for supporting. Hope to see you soon in the by afternoon session. And thank you very much for watching and have a nice one. Bye bye.